It was seen by many as another symbol of how our society has become overcautious. Can Hall Primary School in Essex decided to cover the heads of children on its website with smiley faces.
Yes, it was done to protect them from online paedophiles, but even the NSPCC has now said the school may have gone too far. So, what did the parents think?
I can see both sides of the argument, to be honest with you. It's a shame that they've got to do that kind of thing, but I think nowadays it's probably a good idea, really, with the amount of dangerous people about.
It's sort of a global thing, isn't it? And it isn't just a local. Anybody could have access to it, which is the worrying thing, really. So, yeah, I do agree with it.
Yeah, I think it's a very good idea, definitely. Sort of protects your children because you don't know who's going to be looking on there. I mean, you know, you get it on the newsletters, but you know who's getting those newsletters, whereas on the internet anyone can access it. So it's sort of reassuring to know the school actually care about things like that.
Well, let's talk to Julie Meechin, who has two school-age sons, and the director of the children's charity Kidscape, Michelle Elliott. Julie, can I first ask you, when you hear the parents saying that, they support the school, and it's their decision, really, isn't it? Ultimately, the school takes the decision, the parents support it, there you go.
The school's decision, I just find it a very odd one, personally, because if they're that concerned about the children's faces being on the internet, that they need to cover them, I don't understand why they would use the pictures at all. And apparently the same school sent out a paper newsletter and the children's faces weren't covered. So I don't understand why they just didn't stick to that.
And for you personally, I mean, if one of your children is photographed, say in a local paper, name given out, do you have any worries about that? Does it occur to you at all?
No, I think if we start doing things like this, then we're pandering to the paedophiles.
Michelle, what interests me is when the children saw their faces with smiley faces covering them, what sort of questions they might have asked about why that had to happen?
I would think that they are under the impression that the world is such a dangerous place that even their little faces cannot be seen anywhere. And of course what schools need to do is quite simple, is you get permission from parents in writing to use children's pictures in various places around the school. And if a parent doesn't want it to happen, fine. But this is absolutely ludicrous and very sad. I mean, I feel very sad for the kids.
But when you... I'm just intrigued now. I mean, you say it doesn't make any sense when you hear the parents saying, you know, we kind of agree with this, think it makes sense. I mean, a lot of people on that basis seem to think this is a good thing.
I wonder how many,
somehow making them safe.
I wonder how many parents actually felt that. I mean, we had 3 or 4 talking. I wonder the school in general. But I think the important thing for us to know is there is not a paedophile under every rock and around every corner and waiting to get a hold of our children on static pictures online. I think we've got a little paranoid about it. And you know, what are we saying to children?
It's enforcing us as adults, our views onto our children. And their childhoods are short enough as it is. And we're still taking more away from them. It's awful.
But, Michelle, is there evidence that paedophiles surf the internet looking for these sorts of pictures of children?
The evidence that we know, and there may be 1 or 2 out there. Remember, there are 11 million children in the country, and you could surf and surf. But typically what we're talking about in child pornography is they're using their own and children that they know. Was it yesterday, the headlines were that 8 children were rescued from a situation like that. So they're not typically looking for static pictures of children standing in a row doing nothing. Child pornography is much more awful than that.
All right, we are out of
Good
time.
to talk
Thank
to you
you
this morning. Yeah, Michelle and Julie, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
7:43, you're watching Breakfast from BBC News. Let's bring you up to date with our main stories this morning.